In this example, we want to evaluate the first 5 terms of the following sequences. So here, this sequence is defined by 2 times n plus 11. So basically what we need to do is we need to find what u sub 1, u sub 2, u sub 3, u sub 4, and so on is. So we're going to just plug in the counting numbers, the natural numbers. So 2 times 1 plus 11. And our sequence always starts with 1 as our first element or first term of the sequence. So this is going to equal 2 plus 11, so that'll be 13. U sub 2, the second term, is going to be 2 times 2 plus 11. So that's 4 plus 11, so that's going to be 15. And U sub 3 is 2 times 3 plus 11, so that's 6 plus 11, that's 17. And if we're kind of analyzing the pattern here, you can kind of see what's going on here. I am adding 2 each time I go one further term out in the sequence. So I'm not going to actually continue to put in different numbers for n, but I can just safely assume that u sub 4 is going to equal 2 more than 17, and u sub 5 is going to equal 2 more than 19. And that should make sense since this kind of looks like a linear equation, so it makes sense that we are moving up and down in an addition or subtraction linear pattern. So my 5 terms are going to be 13, 15, 17, 19, and 21. All right, let's look at this next example. And this is a little bit different because here I've got an exponential. So we'll see what happens with this one. Same situation. I'm going to take u sub 1, and I'm going to substitute in a 1 for the n. So this will be 3 times 2, so that's 6. U sub 2 is going to be 3 times 2 to the second power, so that's 3 times 4, so that's going to be 12. U sub 3 is going to equal 3 times 2 to the third power, so that's 3 times 8, 8, and that's 24. And at this point, we can start to see another pattern emerge, where this time it looks like I am multiplying by 2 as I move along my sequence. And again, that should make sense since I'm multiplying by this 2 to something, some nth power. So that's how I'm growing in the sequence. So I'm going to list out my last 2 terms by doubling. So this will be 48, u sub 4 will be 48, u sub 5 will be double 48, which I believe is 96. So my 5 terms in the sequence are 6, 12, 24, 48, and 96. So again, this is just a sequence defined using this notation with set notation, and we can find any number of terms in the sequence. So why don't you try an example like this, pause the video, give this one a shot, and see what you can come up with. All right, and here's my workings out for both of these problems. This one was a little bit tricky because of the powers and the negative signs. We're actually alternating, plussing, or adding and subtracting these values here. So check your work, see how it went, and we're going to keep moving along in the next video.